At what age did you realize that you knew how to write beautiful lyrics and that you had talent?
Well, probably as a teenager. I was writing songs. My dad got my sister and I this karaoke machine, and I would rewrite everyone's songs and harmonize.
Oh, really?
And tape it and have my own little studio karaoke. And then we started going into the studio, and we had songwriters and producers since the age of 9. And I would give little input, but I didn't know, I was a kid, that I was helping. And about 13, 14, I wrote my first song completely by myself. And then I started going to the studio on my off time, and just me alone and writing the songs. And my dad was secretly playing the songs for record labels, and I was really mad because, you know, they were just for me. And because of that, I got Independent Woman placed on the soundtrack, and ended up winning Songwriter of the Year with ASCAP.
Yeah, the first time that African American woman had ever won that distinction.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible. I had the pleasure of going to church with your mama and daddy and your sister Solange and her incredibly engaging, charming son.
Yes.
And the press would lead you to believe that Solange is like in your shadow, but I didn't find that at all. I found her to be so confident and sophisticated. She's her own woman.
Absolutely. She's never been in my shadow. You know, even when she was 5 and I was 10, she always had her own mind. She always was very independent, very confident, and very different. You know, we're now becoming more similar that she's getting older, but she has her own mind, and she's an incredible songwriter, very deep, and a lyricist, and she has her own life.
So now wait, when you were 5 and she came home, did you have any jealousy because you're no longer an only child now?
Yes, I did. I thought she was mine, and I wanted to give her back. Maybe a year after she was born, my personality really changed, and I guess I felt like I had to be the big sister. So I calmed down, because I was a terror when I was, you know, under the age of 5. I hear some of the stories. I can't believe I did these things. Yes, it's like, what was wrong with me?
The other thing that has fascinated me about your family is that they were never too busy to have you and your sister as their first priority.
Now that I'm older and I see my sister with my nephew and the work, you know, that goes into raising a child.
Yes.
And me also being a hard worker myself, not having any children, I just couldn't imagine doing what I do and having a child. And my mother worked as hard as I do, and my father worked as hard as I do, which is why I work so hard, because I grew up seeing that. And they had 2 children, and, you know, they dropped us off. They picked us up from school. Sometimes my mama was a little late.
That's
but,
right,
you know,
because the perm hadn't taken, right. The hair wasn't straight enough on the client.
And every Sunday, we all would hop into the same, you know, me and all of the girls from the group, and my sister and her friends and my cousins, all of us pile into the car and go to church, and then go to this restaurant, this cafeteria, and have our dinner together every Sunday. It never failed. So we still had family time, and my mom would take us to theme parks, and my dad made time to watch our rehearsals and send out our demo tapes to record labels. It's unbelievable what they did.
Everyone knows the obvious benefits of growing up in the spotlight of the entertainment industry. What do you see as the drawback?
Well, when I was 15, I had, you know, #1 single with Destiny's Child. And imagine being that young. And I remember, you know, it was right after the single came out, and the song was playing on the radio, and we were just starting to get recognized. And my mother took me to a record store, and she was talking to me, and I started singing while she was talking. And she was like, "You better listen to me when I'm talking to you. Don't sing. That's disrespectful. I know what that means." And I, you know, stopped for a second, and she was telling me something, and I started singing again. My mother slapped the mess out of me in front of everyone in the store, and it was like young guys and people that knew who I was, and they were playing the record because they saw me come in. She smacked the fire out of me, and said, do not forget who you are. If she wouldn't have done that, who knows what would have happened to me.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
wow.
It was a great life lesson. And it's been difficult being a child because you have access to anything at a young age, you know, when you're a celebrity. And everyone tells you, you know, the things you do are great. And if you choose to be around those types of people, then, you know, you'll become completely disconnected with reality. And, you know, I've been fortunate to have people that I trust. And also it's been my choice to keep those people around me. But it's been hard because there's so many, you know, rumors and so many people that have no idea what they're talking about, that just make up things. And now with the internet, someone can dislike me for whatever reason, just make up things, and it's no way of controlling that. And I had to deal with that from that age, which is really, really, really hard, especially for someone who's as sensitive as I am, because I'm a people pleaser. I want everybody happy. And
that's why you work so hard.
Yes, it is. And, you know, some of the things that people say or have said have been so far from the truth, and I can't control it. That's really difficult.
Would you want the children that you'll have someday in the future to have a different childhood?
I had a very happy childhood. I mean, I grew up with my friends in the group with me. We had slumber parties every day. I still had a childhood. But I know that this is difficult, and it takes a really different type of person, a very strong person to deal with the scrutiny that I have to deal with. I would not be very happy if my child wanted to do this, but I would tell them the truth, and I would tell them the beautiful things about it and the bad things about it, and let them make their own decision. And if that's what they wanted, then I would support that the same way my parents supported me.
She's a star. You know, by her being this huge, Beyoncé being this huge star, and being able to transform into Dina, who starts out kind of timid and shy in the background, and this young little girl, and to be able to flip into that is amazing to me to watch. I love working with Beyoncé.
She's been dancing since the age of 7, and wow, can she move.
Some people completely did not understand why I was dancing the way I did, but it was really me paying homage to Josephine Baker.
Beyoncé on the art of the dance when we come back.